Hey everybody, welcome back to
Unfiltered Energy.
There we go. There we go.
So happy to be back here. I'm in the hot
excited.
seat.
All right, I feel like there's we're a little bit more organized today. We got a million
so
things that we feel like
organized.
we want to talk about. First thing, let's talk about Montreal Canadiens.
Uh,
They did win.
they literally won. And yes, we were definitely going to start off with that because Kadeem is wearing his Montreal
That's
Canadiens
it. That's
jersey.
it.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Bringing the local
Yeah.
local team. I haven't watched hockey and I want to say since PK Subban left. I don't even know how many years
Wow.
that is.
What kind of
haven't watched
fan
hockey
are
in a
you?
long time. No, I moved from hockey to football.
Oh. Okay, but when
Okay.
you say football, Kadeem, I know
I mean soccer.
There
Okay.
you go.
Okay.
British. It's because I watched the Premium League in England. I watched Liverpool. That's my team. I've
Right.
been watching them since 2017. I'm almost going on 10 years of watching.
And we
soccer.
know that because we know you're a huge soccer fan, but that's why I wanted you to clarify because in North America, football is known as football, right?
Yeah.
And when
exactly.
you mentioned it, I wanted people out there to know that you mean soccer,
Soccer.
I mean
even
soccer.
though you're using the correct term according to
Yeah.
the.
Just say soccer.
So that's the thing. I've been watching soccer for a while now, and I feel like the Canadians haven't been in the playoffs. I got disconnected with all the players. I didn't know who they are, but recently, there's just so much hype about one guy getting 50 goals and another guy doing something, and then finally we're back into the playoffs. Our team's doing amazing, and you heard about the game yesterday a little bit.
I did. I heard that they won,
Yeah,
and they won, I think, 4-3.
that's it.
They were playing against Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and somebody did a
Hat trick.
trick.
There
Yes.
you go. There
Yeah.
you go. I'm proud of you guys.
Yeah, and the thing is, I knew what a hat trick was,
Yeah.
but I forgot because
Mm.
I'm like, okay, I know it's 3 goals, but
Yeah. That's
I
exactly what it is.
I forgot it's by the same
By
player.
the same player.
Wait,
Yeah.
3 goals in just the entire game?
Correct.
Or
Entire game.
like
No,
in
Yes,
a
it-
row?
in the entire game.
Okay,
Yeah.
in the entire game.
By
Okay.
the same player.
It doesn't have to be
Mm.
consecutive.
Which is a big deal.
Yeah, for sure.
How do you do that?
How do you get 3 goals
How-
in one game? It's
Incredible.
a big deal. So yeah, the first game,
Uh-huh.
and we win, and we're not even in Montreal, we're in the other city.
Well,
Even though there was a
exactly.
lot of Montreal fans. It was crazy how many Montreal. I saw like red jerseys everywhere.
Oh,
Wow.
they played in Tampa Bay.
So we're gonna play
Okay.
2 games in Tampa Bay, 2 games in Montreal, then it's 1 each until there's a
gotcha.
winner.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's exciting to win over there because when they come over here, we have like the home advantage, you know?
The home advantage, and not only that, but Montreal during hockey season is just a
crazy.
different vibe,
Yeah.
and it's a special place, I think.
Yeah. And I don't think it changed since
No.
I've been to the Bell Center. I went a couple of years ago to watch 1 game and it's still loud, it's still nuts, it's still crazy. We went to the Atwater Forum to watch a game when we were kids.
Oh
were
my
kids.
gosh,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh my God, our aunt lived literally right behind the Montreal Forum,
Yeah.
and if a
And
lot
she
of
still lives there.
yeah, and if a lot of people don't know what the Montreal Forum is, it was the original arena
Yeah.
where all the Montreal hockey games were and a lot of our concerts back in the days.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
so on. And now it's actually a cinema
It is.
where
AMC.
AMC, but also my daughter who's at Dawson has a lot of classes in there.
My
Believe it
daughter-
or not,
What?
Yes.
I
yeah.
swear to God, Dawson students,
I don't believe you.
I swear.
Yeah.
She was walking in there the other, I'm like, where are you going? And she's like, Mom, my classes are in there.
That
you
is so
forward?
crazy that
Yeah.
you say that
Yeah.
because I was driving my daughter, who also goes to Dawson,
Yeah.
and she's like, Mom, by the way, there are classes in there. And I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
what? And I couldn't believe it. So it's funny you
I
bring
had
that
no,
up.
I had,
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, a part of it, I guess.
They
Dawson
needed
College,
more, they probably
space.
needed more space. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Wow.
So that's kind of cool because we.
Sis, we have a situation.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You'll be mad that I didn't tell you, but there you go.
Absolutely. Okay. Oh yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
We'll fix that.
Sorry.
It happens.
Okay.
It happens. Hair emergency. So yeah, the Montreal Forum where we used to
Yeah.
see
Go,
a
yeah.
lot of like the games, and didn't they win the Stanley Cup when they were playing back at the Forum?
That's where they won all their cups.
yeah.
Every cup was
I
won.
Because-
believe, yeah. 'Cause
yeah.
that was in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, 'cause I remember
goes
yeah.
back to the 50s and 60s. We've won the most Stanley Cups in the history of hockey.
What?
Yeah, our team has won more Stanley Cups than any other team has won.
Okay, I did not know
What-
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
mean,
interesting.
Leave a comment. We're not like really like huge on
Yeah.
like hockey.
Oh yeah, no. Montreal
connoisseur.
Canadiens was like the king of hockey team to play for.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is this like back in the days with like Guy Lafleur and Wayne
Yes.
Gretzky days
Yes.
and like all these?
Well, no, in the Wayne Gretzky days, he was the one winning all the cups. But I just mean like it was back in the days. It's not we're not talking about the last 20 years. We're talking about way before that.
Okay.
Gosh,
Got
remember
it.
when we
Yeah.
used to listen to hockey on the radio?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sultana.
remember that.
Yes, we had a family friend who were obsessed with hockey.
They're the ones who
growing
got
up.
us into
They
that,
got us
into
into
hockey.
it. They would build a skating rink
Yeah.
outside their
Yes.
home
Oh my God.
in the backyard because not only and
Oh, wow.
guess what? It was a family of 11 kids,
Yes.
9 of which were
Wow.
girls,
Yeah.
and all the girls were big hockey fans.
Big hockey.
So
fans.
when we kind of like had this like family friendship going on while we were younger, we would often go stay there. We would skate in the backyard, listen to the hockey games on the radio,
Yes.
and then
Wow.
Those
I
were
forgot
good
about those
times.
days when
Forgot about
they
that.
were obsessed.
obsessed
Yeah.
with hockey.
Yeah.
They knew the players, the names,
Everything,
the stats,
everything.
and they were
Yeah.
all girls.
And they were all girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Just two boys. Yeah.
Just two
We're
boys.
talking about the 90s.
Yeah, we're talking about the 90s.
This was the 90s.
This was the 90s.
Yeah.
And maybe even earlier. Early 90s.
Wow.
Maybe even late 80s, if I'm not
Wow.
mistaken. Because we were super young. But
Late
yeah,
80s,
good
you're
job,
right.
Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah.
So the whole city's
Let's hope they keep
excited.
winning.
You know,
Yeah.
it's a great way to start the summer.
Yes.
Right? We got a good.
Oh,
the sun is
we
out.
got a good
Look
day.
at this.
Sun
It's
is out.
Catherine Street. Look at the vibe
Yeah.
here.
It was a horrible winter.
It was the worst.
I went
winter
honestly, by far, that was the worst
recorded,
winter.
Probably the worst winter I've ever
Yeah,
experienced in my life.
Very depressing.
So
and-
I feel like I have a lot to say about this.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
And you know me, I'm the overthinker
Yes.
and the
yes.
the person in the family there that's I would say more emotional and more into like
I thought I was
vibes
the
and
emotional
moods.
one.
No,
You.
no, definitely not. So I was feeling like, I wasn't trying to overthink this winter and this like following past season. But I realized I was trying to stay positive and I was trying to do a lot of good things, but I was realizing that I was really tired this winter. Okay. And I was talking to like a lot of colleagues, a lot of friends, and just people in general. And everyone was kind of feeling the same thing, which was that winter lasted really long, first of
Yeah.
all, this year.
I mean, it snowed today.
Yeah. Like they
It
fluck out
snowed
like a bit,
today.
which is crazy. with
Yeah,
the
I
weather.
saw. I looked outside the window and I'm like, "What's that on the cars?"
Yeah.
There was like
There was like that dew of snow. Yeah.
on every car, and I was like,
Yeah.
"What's going
No,
on?"
my whole backyard was full-fledged snow.
So if any of you guys know, today in Montreal was literally this morning -3 degrees.
Yeah.
-3, and
Saturday
was
22,
23.
2020. Yeah.
23. I think the high was 23.5.
Yeah.
And I had told a lot of people, I'm like, watch, we're going to hit 0. And they're like, no, we're not going to go lower than 10 degrees. Now that we're like in that warmer temperature, and lo and behold,
Yeah.
this morning we wake up.
Oh, it's
But-
nice.
But then again, look at it. It has warmed up throughout the day,
Yeah.
which is nice. But going back to what I wanted to say, I was like, I was trying to look back at January, February, March. First of all, we haven't been on for the last, what's it been? 2 months, would you say?
Just gonna put that down.
Would you say it's been 2 months?
Yeah,
If we
we
put a
took
timeline
a little
on-
Ramadan break,
First
and
of all,
then
what's the date today, guys? Let's see who knows the date, because I have no idea what the date is.
I don't have a watch.
it's the 20th
It's
of
the 20th.
It's the
April.
It's the
Yeah.
20th of April. Okay. So when was our last podcast? Is it safe to say that it was probably
Right before Ramadan.
So probably first week of March.
no?
No,
Ramadan
Last week of
started
April.
February 20th
Last
or
week.
February.
How do we
18th.
not know this,
February.
people?
Okay, so mid-February was our last podcast.
Okay.
So exactly 2 months ago.
Oh, we're bad. And we promised ourselves we would not do this.
Yeah. But you know what I realized? I realized that we were resting.
We're not supposed to be resting.
No,
Wait,
it's
wait.
not that we were resting. We were just focusing on something that needed more of our attention, undivided attention. And sometimes in life, you need to literally take a break from everything.
There you go.
You know,
But
so
in
that's
some
fine.
ways,
That's fine.
hibernating, resting, So
We
what
were
I wanted to,
fasting. It was Ramadan, which we had a very
Well,
nice
I wasn't
Ramadan.
hibernating,
Well,
but
well, I was I
you were
was
hibernating.
hibernating,
Yeah.
okay? But the reason that I'm mentioning this is just because of the fact that I think our body during the winter, and I was looking into
Yes,
this
the
because
winter.
I was looking at the seasons, I was looking at the four seasons, and how like very much our life is based on the different cycle of seasons. You know what I mean?
Okay.
100%.
How in the summer we're very active and
Mm.
we are spending a lot of time outdoors. Our mindset is different, our shift is a little bit different in, the things that we choose to do, and that's okay. And I was realizing that just like the four seasons of the year, the way things change, our mindset and our we have a shift in our behavior as well. So I was finding that a lot of the time, most people need to rest during the winter seasons, is what I'm saying. They need to kind of hibernate. When I say hibernate, we're still working,
Yeah.
we're still doing the occasional activity here and there. We're taking vacation, there's March break. But what I mean is that we're not forcing things upon ourselves,
Right.
which is also because of the weather. Like you
Is it
can't,
in the summertime we feel like we're missing out? It's nice weather, so we're kind of pushing ourselves to overdo
and
something. And in the wintertime, it's like, oh, sun's good. I'm gonna go down at 4 o'clock. I'm not gonna go outside. What am I gonna do? No, I get it. I
so
get it.
so you're allowing your body to rest
Yeah.
with the seasons
Yeah.
and the changes
I just don't
in
think our body needs to rest.
our body does need to rest, Kareem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think to
it's
that.
Just like
I mean,
the
wait,
bears who hibernate in the
no,
winter.
but we're
No, we
talking
do need
about
to rest.
6 months. That's half a year of
Wait, not
winter.
well, let's
It
see.
started in November.
November,
And it
December,
snowed today.
January, February, March. Let's say 5 months, really. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
we're just coming out of hibernation mid-April. So you're right. It is 6 months out of the year.
That's nuts. No.
And
No,
but
no.
but what I'm
We
saying
have
is
to figure out a way not to hibernate and
Well-
to just stay consistent.
well, absolutely. But what I'm trying to just explain to you is that it's okay. It's okay if you're not pushing yourself. You're not supposed to push yourself all day, every day, all throughout the year.
No, that I
Yes, you want
that
to
I
be
agree.
motivated,
That I
but what
agree.
I'm trying to just reflect upon is what I found to be kind of like a little bit in line with the changes of the season is that our body is made to function differently throughout the seasons. And yes, of course, you don't want to be in a depressive state. You don't want to be negative. You want to be pushing yourself, but it's okay to not be working at full
But
capacity, is what
shouldn't
I'm
we
saying.
pushing ourselves harder in winter because we're more prone to
But you're not,
we're more prone to depression, we're more prone to falling uh in a pattern where we're staying home and we're becoming introverts, whereas in the wintertime we need more vitamin C, we need a little bit
this
more
is a
light.
nice
We need,
perspective. I like that
I
you're
mean, like,
challenging me a little bit, to
no,
be
but
honest
I
with
mean,
you.
like, summertime, it's kind of that thing, like,
It's
I
a
don't know,
given.
how many weekends do they say that you have in a
I
summer?
think it's 8 weeks or something.
It's something like extremely short, right?
Well, if you think of it in a sense of like school being out, because June 23rd is the last day of school,
Yeah,
right?
So,
So they
let's say
say
you
that
got
you
9
have
weekends or something.
it's something along those
Oh,
lines.
yeah,
But
it's
yes,
nothing.
summer does start a bit earlier and it will go on till the end of September. But what
Yeah.
they mean is without the
crazy.
kids being in
9
school, 9 weekends. Yeah.
So I saw somebody was saying something. They were saying you only get your baby for one season of being an infant, right?
Oh, that's so
And then
true.
they're like, you only get your toddler for 4 years.
Yeah.
You only get your
Elementary school kid.
and basically just trying to like wake you up and just tell yourself like, hey, there's a very small amount of time that you have in these precious little kind of moments.
Absolutely.
Like
Yes.
the majority of time that your kid is going to know you is as an adult, and they're going to be an adult. But that those young ages are very small.
I always
Like my
say
kids
that
are
because-
small right now, 4 and 7. Like this summer, like
it's a
it
pivotal
needs to be,
moment
like,
where it's
a little bit
memorable.
magical, a
Yeah.
little bit
Yeah,
memorable,
because they're at
little
an
like
age.
little like trips, or like I was thinking about Disneyland, or like these kind of like little things that you have to do in those windows.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Right?
enjoy the moment and
So,
Okay,
are
but
you
what do you
finished
think,
with
Sultana?
Yeah,
What do you think? Like in terms of the seasons,
the
like
weather,
do you
the
feel
seasons.
like we should be pushing ourselves 24/7 all the time? Because I understand
Well,
what
not
Kareem's saying.
24/7.
So that's why I was trying to
That's your car meter. Pay your car meter.
Okay. Hold on, guys. Yeah, you guys chit chat while
Put
I
your
pick.
glasses on.
I
Play your
can't
card meter.
multitask here.
Yeah. So what do you?
Yeah, no, yeah, we all get a little bit. We get the, what are they called? The winter blues. I think we all go through that.
Yeah.
We're
That's
missing
why
vitamin D.
vitamin
people.
D is
Hello.
extremely important. I push it on my kids. I even got this little device called the Happy Light. Have you ever heard of that?
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
you've talked
when
about
the
it
kids
before.
are at breakfast, I just put on the Happy Light,
Nice.
and it acts as if it's like
I've
a
heard of the
sun.
light. It's like a blue light or something. It's
No,
just...
no, it's like a bright light.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's like a bright light, and you just put it on while they're eating their breakfast, and it acts as if it's the sun,
I like
and
that.
it helps them a little bit. And
I saw this thing in China where you can get something installed in your ceiling. It's a box, and they've made it so that it works with the sun.
oh my
outside your
gosh, I just
house.
saw that.
Still
I
have 9
saw that.
minutes.
And while you're just sitting down,
Yes.
it'll actually cast shadows around your room.
Okay, that's
to give
cool.
you the illusion that there's actually sunlight coming from
I
up
like
there.
that.
And then I was just like, that's how much we
need
that's how
it.
much like this means to us.
Oh yeah, that's why us Montrealers, what do? Saturday, I'm at work. People are walking into the salon in sandals, in short shorts, in tank tops, and I was like, "How hot is it?" Because I'm stuck inside.
Yeah.
I'm like asking the clients, "How beautiful is it out there?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "It's amazing."
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
the next day
It's
was
snowing.
gloomy.
This was Saturday's vibe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Sunday we're all back in our winter coats.
I know. This
In the
morning I
cold
sent my
sun.
son
They
for the
had-
bus,
Yeah.
and I'm like looking for his hat.
Oh,
I literally
no.
couldn't find his
I got all
and
the
his
hats
Montreal
today.
Canadiens took on top of it, but I could not find it. And I'm like, should I send him with gloves? Like, what should I do? I'm
I
like,
thought about snow pants.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
my wife
that's
was just-
too much,
It
bro.
was minus. It was cold. this
It
morning.
was cold.
I saw snow.
And then you're
I
thinking-
know, I
don't
did
know.
too.
I
I
don't
did
know.
too.
and
I,
you're
like-
thinking of your kids outside literally playing for like half the day.
No, but guys, this is what we know about Montreal. You're gonna experience 4 different
See, it's
seasons
one week.
in a day.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're
Okay,
right,
so
you're right.
let's go back to that 4 seasons in one day.
Right.
I'm a little like I just want to just go back to my point of being that I understand what you were saying with and I like your perspective. I like it because you're taking out more the positive aspect. And I think that's why you started snowboarding too and stuff,
I
right?
did, I
You
did,
wanted
yeah.
to enjoy winter, right?
Yeah.
And you found yourself trying to find things to keep you optimistic and I guess like embracing the cold days in the winter. And I'm not saying
To a
that's a
certain
bad
degree,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I mean, teach your daughter skates, right?
Yep.
And I found that very like inspiring, to be honest with you. I never taught my kids really how to skate.
I went to
They
her
know how to
show
skate.
and it
Oh,
go to the
was
show.
I heard you had
amazing.
Olympic
No, it
skaters
was
or-
amazing. They had invited this
Yeah.
couple from Chateauguay to come down, and
Wow.
they're like a big deal. And they did a show, and then they had individuals doing like it felt like we were at like
That's
Oh,
what Sonic
I,
is saying.
I couldn't
show.
believe
And
it.
this is in Saint Jean sur le Richelieu, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they went all out in Saint Jean. Like I wanted to go to Facebook and just write a message saying, "Guys, I'm so proud of all of
So
our
do
little
it.
daughters."
What's stopping
Wow.
you?
Like I'm
What
just,
arena was
I-
it? Do you remember?
No, it was just like in the it was a huge arena.
Huge
It was a
arena.
huge
Wow.
arena.
In
Like,
Saint Jean.
maybe like the biggest arena in Saint Jean or something.
my
but
God.
And the
it was
music
organized.
was some.
So the
amazing.
music, what they did was really cool. They went from 2000. No, they went
No.
from 1975.
Yeah.
To 2025.
Yeah, so
Fine.
50 years of music.
Every single kind of couple of years, they sang like every song. We knew every single song.
Yeah.
The
We were
kids
paying
were so
attention.
cute.
I heard.
Little
Ugh.
little 4-year-olds,
that
3-year-olds.
9-year-old
There was
girl.
a 9-year-old girl that
Oh.
just kept twirling in
Oh,
the air. There
wow.
was
And your daughter, you must have been so proud of her.
so proud of her. And the thing about Ariana is she 2 days later started crying, and then she was just like,
Why?
"Mommy, Daddy, I want to go back."
Oh, okay, that
And
goes to
I
show she
remember
really likes
that
it.
when we were kids, we wished we can go back in time and relive like fun days.
Yeah.
Another thing, we played hockey as
And
kids
that
too
was
across
something
the
that
street.
she experienced. That was something that she was like, "I wish I can go back."
Oh,
Right.
that is just
You know?
nostalgic. Yeah,
But it was a
beautiful.
little bit nuts in the sense that like we were there for 3.5 hours.
Oh, I couldn't
which I thought,
believe
like,
it.
what the hell hell are the kids doing back there for 3.5 hours?
Yeah, Mom, the only thing she said was the arena chairs were very
Yeah.
And I
comfortable.
thought about that. Let me
and
get a cushion. Let me.
Cushion
And
or a pashmina to sit on.
I should have done that. And I didn't. At one point, I took my jacket, I folded it, put it under her.
Oh, you're so
So that
smart.
helped a little
I
bit.
would have thought that.
But in general, it was like a good, fun night out.
I had a blast.
So look how this all ties in. Montreal Canadiens
Yeah.
winning.
Yeah.
A hat trick on top of it during their first game, right?
First
This is
game.
the first game
First
that they
game,
win.
overtime win.
And they won early on in the overtime.
You got it.
That's also another thing. And then your daughter your daughter skating,
Yeah.
which is back into like the winter activity vibe, which you're trying to be present with like little things that you can do to kind of like keep yourself busy during the winter.
Absolutely.
And you know what? All interesting, because to be honest with you, these are things that are going to make you, I guess, get through the winter. But at the same time, my reason for bringing this up was just to say that it's okay to take this time to rest. When the sun goes down at 4:30, it's okay to be in bed by 8:30. It's okay to start your evening early. There's a reason that the world needs this kind of type of four season to regrow, rebuild, reset,
Okay.
and kind of hibernate. So
I can see that.
that's why I
I
was
can see
mentioning
that.
it, because I find it's very pivotal right now.
But now what do you do?
being
Now you
April?
just wake up, because now you got
It's not
you
even
got
wake up.
6 months.
So wait, so that's the thing. That's what I wanted to, it's resting. You know, a lot of people think they need to reinvent themselves in all these complicated things, but actually you're just going back to who you were, and you're growing, right? Just like the way the flowers grow and the plants grow and the grass grows. You're just
I lost
blooming
you.
again.
I lost
You're
What do you-
blooming
I
again.
lost you, Aisha.
Because you're blooming again. You're like
100%. No, I
you're
get what
coming
you mean.
back.
I do get
So
what you mean.
that's what I'm saying. Sometimes we say, oh, there's a cycle, but there's a cycle for a reason sometimes. And it's not
Okay.
necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
And once we embrace it, we can actually enjoy each season for what it is and for what it brings. Because some people are like, yeah, it's so repetitive, you know, like, well, yeah,
Got
we
it.
know
So
we
I've
want
been
tulips.
summer, I was all over the
in-
place.
yeah.
Winter's coming. I'm gonna take it easy a little bit.
I'm going to take it easy
Okay,
a bit,
I
and
got
I'm
it.
going to rest just like a lot of the
I got it.
animals.
So you
hibernate and
rested?
rest. I rested.
So great. So now what's the plan?
So the plan is now to enjoy
Actually,
this.
you didn't rest.
I
Your
didn't
son
rest.
just left for Pakistan.
I know he did.
And let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared to talk about it right now.
Okay,
have
gotcha.
to.
But
We
we'll
don't
bring it
have
up
to.
another
We don't
time.
have to.
Yeah,
We'll talk
That's
yeah.
about it another
okay.
Because I'm
time.
still dealing with like the whole emotional aspect of it, but I'll
Aw.
get through it. So
Okay, that's
yeah.
okay.
So
So-
let me get into this.
Yes.
All
and,
right.
I'm
talk-
excited for
Talk
this.
to our fellow Montrealers about some stuff over
Oh,
here.
yeah.
So one of the things that we're all dealing with right now in this
Mm.
this beautiful city of ours is the what's the word I'm looking for?
Ongoing
The
issues.
heart attack that we're
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
every single 2 minutes of our drive. So Montreal has a massive pothole issue right now.
Yeah.
It's so bad that I don't think any one of us can avoid potholes. It's got to the point where multiple places on our drive we've memorized. We know where they are. We know how bad they are.
So right.
We know how to
memorize.
swerve them. I look
Oh,
at the
he's
car
so
in
right.
front of
I
me. I
avoid
see the
certain
car
streets.
swerving. It's not a rabbit. It's not a deer.
Yeah.
It's a pothole.
Yeah.
It's a pothole.
It's-
But that's what it is. And it's and then you know when your car just hits that pothole? And then it makes that that sound, and like you can feel it in your soul.
I feel it
Everything
everywhere. It
hurts.
ruins my
your
whole
body
day.
shivers.
100%.
Why do you think we all got SUVs? I got an SUV specifically because of Montreal potholes. 100%. Because when I'm with my, like in my husband's car, he drives a Beamer and it's quite low. I feel everything.
Yeah.
I don't even
That makes sense.
enjoy
That makes
going in
sense.
his car.
Yeah.
I'm like, babe, can we switch to like my car? Because I feel and I feel bad for his car. Because I feel
Yeah.
like we're damaging
I
it.
feel bad for the cars too.
Yeah.
That's my inclination as well.
I've
I
heard
don't
of
know. I don't know how people,
like their
I've heard things
tires getting
ending.
completely ruined because of a pothole.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. So the pothole situation. So fun. This is interesting. 42,000 calls since 2026. What are we, April?
Wait,
And not only
what?
In 4
that
months?
that was since February. So in 2 months, they got 42,000 calls, 5 times the amount of calls that they got last year.
Increase of last
That's
year.
insane.
42,000 calls. I don't even know how that's humanly possible to take that
Wait,
many
wait.
calls.
Am I reading that right? We have 14,800 potholes reported.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
You know something's wrong when your Waze
So
tells you there's a pothole coming up.
they have a now budget of $500 million to redo the roads to 2035. So in the next, what's that? In the next 9 years, not
Parking
even
bay.
$500 million. So that's crazy.
Wow.
Okay. When you're driving, if there's a pothole coming, what do you think you're supposed to do? Because
Oh, I
had
totally
to
swerve.
research
Well,
this.
I look if
For
I
sure.
can.
I'm with you with the swerve.
but I swerve.
and avoid that. Avoid it. I agree. If you
I
can't
do that
avoid it,
too.
what do you do? Because
Hold on for dear life.
what do you normally do? What's the first thing you kind of
You
do?
slow
Slow
down.
down. I
You
slow
kind of
down.
brake, right?
Yeah.
So they're saying not to brake
Oh yeah,
Well,
because
why?
because it
You're-
hits the suspension, the impact. It's worse from the car. You can
Oh.
slow down, but don't hit the brake.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
so let go of the gas then.
Just
'Cause
try
they're-
to avoid it. Let go of the gas.
Let go of the
Let
gas.
go
Because
of
if
the
you're thinking
gas.
of driving,
Yeah.
then hitting the brake is
So
how you slow
funny
down.
thing. So I went to like CTV and all the websites, and I started to like do a little bit of research on the potholes because it's driving me crazy.
Oh, it's driving
And
me
then
crazy too.
people wrote in the comments there should be a website out there where people can report all the pothole issues.
Stop it, Kareem.
Okay.
And I'm reading this in the comments, and then I'm like, yeah, that's true. Then I find this website that I didn't even know existed in Quebec. It's called I'm gonna butcher the name. I'm gonna butcher the name. It's called La RUCH.
La Roche.
La Roche.
La
It's like a
Roche.
crowdfunding website. So, anyways, I find a website called Ayoy.
And you
Ay ay.
Look
Well,
at
yeah.
me. Ayoy.
Mais oui.
So
Hey,
it's,
ayoy.
yeah, so it's
Okay,
called
that's hilarious.
ayoy.ca. And
Say it again. What is it?
Ay
Ayoy.
ay.
Ayoy.ca.
And then lo and behold, look at this, guys. So take a look at this for a
Oh
second.
my
Oh my God.
God.
This is
all the
yeah.
recorded potholes in the city.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
wow.
Wow. Oh gosh.
Okay. So then they have pictures.
The plateau.
So
Ooh,
literally
you've
people
got a
take
lot.
pictures and they upload it
Oh my God.
to the website. And it's a map of all the fucking potholes all over the city, which is wild.
Which
is
is horrible.
insane.
I mean, like I could curl up and take a nap in that.
Oh my God.
That's how bad it is.
Yeah.
So wait, okay. So basically on this website, which is kind of cool, Ayoy, you can see if it's already been reported to the city,
Okay.
right?
Okay. so
Because
you don't
let's say your
double
car
report.
gets super damaged from a pothole.
It's happened to me.
Can you sue the city?
It's happened to me.
Yeah.
And my
So
suspensions
there's a
too.
criteria. You can sue the city if the city knew about it.
But
So
how
the
can you
city
prove you went
had
in
to
that?
have known about
Okay.
it. Well, like let's say you tell the city, hey, look, there's a pothole on that area,
And I hit it.
and then you hit it.
And I got a flat tire.
Yeah, but this website, what it does is it tells you somebody reported it.
Okay.
So as long as it's reported and the city neglected to fix it, which I don't know how that works, but at least
Very
knowing
interesting.
that the city knows about it, like let's say your car gets heavily damaged,
Which happens a lot to
which
Montrealers.
happens a lot. you
And
know?
it's a known fact that a lot of us are dealing with constant repairs, tire changes, and not only that,
Rims cost us thousands of dollars.
we got to pay the garage. We got to, and just to let you know, once I got a flat tire and I couldn't repair it, and I don't know if a lot of people know this about tires, your tires have to be balanced to
Yeah.
a certain degree.
They'll tell you have to change the other side.
So I went to 3 garages and they refused to help me. These are big places like Costco, and let's not talk about other
Canadian
places.
Tire.
Let's just talk about dealerships and places where they have to, like, you know, I guess they follow a certain procedure.
no, that's
They
fine.
would not change the one tire that was broken. They wanted me to change all 4 tires.
Oh my lord.
So again, another way
That's
for
like
them to make money.
$2,000 of
I'm talking about
tires.
it, but I didn't obviously do that. You can buy a used tire. You can search to find the exact model. It has to be the same model, the same brand. Like imagine people going through potholes, dealing with a problem like that. Imagine like how mind-boggling it is for you to like have to compute, fix, repair, And all because they just can't fix the streets.
They can't fix the streets. Yeah. So the
They should at
city,
least just fill them in.
the city this year, for
Temporarily.
the first time in a long time, they hired 3 private companies to go and do it. They had a criteria. So maybe it's going to get a little bit better. But you know, this is not to have a positive conversation about the city fixing potholes. We're just talking about the pain and the suffering, the
Yes.
psychological
We're so fed
damage,
And
up.
it's so
the
annoying. You
emotions,
can't even
the
enjoy.
stress. Like,
100%.
like you see the pothole and you like go to the side. Like sometimes I'm literally putting my flashers on because I know a bad area is coming. Like, you know, your house
Yes.
where you're going from the Ultramart to the other side just before you can get onto the bridge. There's like an underpass or something.
Yes.
There's that really bad, like now they put up cones.
It's a bad stretch.
I have to put the hazards on and go really slow at that area.
Oh my God. So very important.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know absolutely what you're talking about. So what you're telling me now is don't brake when you're approaching a pothole. Just let go of the gas,
Let
slow
go of the
down.
glass. Yeah.
And the
yeah.
best way to maintain your car is to go over it slowly without over braking.
Exactly.
Okay.
So yeah, no, potholes crazy, but really cool about that website. They didn't sponsor this video, but maybe in the future they can.
ioi.com or
ioi.ca.
Okay.
You can register. You can look at the pictures.
Oh my gosh.
It's just
check it
something
out, guys.
fun to see because I'm sure we all thought that this would be cool.
I'm sure
And
there's
somebody
not,
actually built it. Somebody made it.
and I'm sure there's not one person that drives that, especially when winter's over
And like we're seeing the streets from all the clearing of the snow and everything.
Yeah,
And it's so frustrating.
it is.
And
It
and
is.
and we're all
It
living
is.
it right now.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
need to come up with a better way of doing roads.
Well, like Sultana said, just fill them in, right? Is that
Fill
so
them in
complicated?
no, the
temporarily,
problem
you
is they actually have to redo the entire road.
Oh wow.
which is why we're always under construction. Is that why?
Maybe, but the only real solution is to redo the road from scratch.
It's because
That
they
will-
don't use good materials here
That
in
will keep
Quebec.
it fixed for a very long amount of time. Right now, all we're doing is filling in the holes. That's why they want to spend $500 million. Of that.
Like, it doesn't make
Make the
sense.
roads.
Ontario has way better roads. We have the
And they
same
still have
They
the
do
weather,
better roads. They do
and
better
they
roads.
use better
Materials.
materials than we
I
do.
don't know if it's the
Unfortunately,
material.
It is,
Maybe they just have a
100%.
bigger budget. Maybe they just do it. Maybe they just nip it in the butt. They just fix it. I don't know. But anyways, my point about the potholes was just I think that was something all of us have been feeling especially with the snow going away.
Like I said, you see
It's-
everything.
It's just been a very stressful drive.
Yeah, it's like a
everywhere.
messy type of
You can't put
like
music.
time
You can't
frame.
relax.
No.
You can't just
No.
enjoy the
Yeah.
ride and put the windows down. It's like no,
and
you're
and
gonna
what
die.
happens
Like,
when you hit the pothole? Your whole
Yeah.
day's ruined.
yeah,
You
Yeah.
hit
Yeah.
it and you're like, what just
Your
happened?
heart starts
What's
to
that
race.
sound? What, did I-
Yeah.
did-
Did I break the car? And then don't you get the paranoia of like hearing sounds after in the car constantly?
100%.
Because you're like,
yeah.
shit, I hit that pothole. Is that
Yeah.
why my car?
So, anyways,
Yeah.
potholes, Montreal.
Yeah.
Been a disaster.
What else is new? Construction, potholes, Montreal. That is our reality.
So, Donna,
Yeah.
what did you want to talk about?
Oh no! Don't put me on the
'Cause
spot.
Well, it's not on the spot.
I feel like there's a lot of stuff that you wanted to talk.
Yeah, we're ready for you, sis.
What do you got over here? You got some
Yeah.
points over here. You want?
Yeah.
Oh no! Yeah.
What's going on? over
Let's
here?
talk about Trump. He's all over the news,
Yes. he
and
is.
basically, I had some funny things to just talk about.
Yeah, Mr. Trump.
Yeah.
He has been a character, and I feel like a lot of people gave him a pass when he was getting elected.
Yes.
They were like, "Yeah, he's not gonna go to war. He's gonna do this. He's gonna
Hmm.
focus."
I wonder what's
And
happening
that
now.
guy just did a pure 360 on all of us.
Yes,
He
like
played everybody.
he really did.
He
like,
really either they got something on him that is so bad.
well, it's got to be those Epstein files. They have something. I think
Epstein
they
it's like,
have.
doesn't even exist anymore. Like no one's
No, but they have
talking
something
about it.
on him, and he is distracting us with Iran, the tariffs, and just
I don't know. Trump's just been like,
Trump equals headline machine. No matter what happens, he's somehow in the news. So,
yeah, I don't know. I can't put my hand on it. I don't think there's something in our brains that could understand what's going on, but it makes you think of the world we live in. Where are the
Very hard
gallant
to comment on
men?
this
Where are the
subject.
gentlemen? Where are the honorable men? These are people that are like ruling the biggest countries in the world. And these are the men that our children have to look up to.
I know. It's a really
I
sad
mean, they
time.
don't have to look up to them, but I just mean like these are the examples. Like he's the president.
Yeah.
He's
And there's a lot happening.
mocking.
There's been a
He's
lot happening
mocking
since.
two of the biggest religions in the world,
Yeah.
and he's just mocking them.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
And the
It's
crazy part
difficult
is
times
people
right
are
now.
not even really outraged.
Yeah.
There was a little outrage, but
Yeah.
not
Well, no.
crazy outrage.
And that's what the topic is everywhere that I'm hearing, or everywhere that I'm going. It's the topic in every household at dinner. That's what everyone's talking about
But I
right
just
now.
mean no one's on the streets, no one's protesting,
No,
going
which is
like no one's
yeah.
just like, hey, buddy.
Oh no, there are protests going on all over the world, you know. In Iran, everybody seemed happy because I work with a couple of Iranian girls, and they were happy that
What
he
did
took
they have
out.
to say about the
They're just happy he took out that.
the person who was in power over there?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but look, everything is subjective. Some people are going to be happy, some people are not going to be
Yeah.
happy. Some people are going to say, well, who are you going to put in now? Are they going to be worse?
Yeah.
Apparently, the people in power now are worse than the people that were in power before. So,
Yeah.
look, I think Iran
I
is
think-
very complicated for us to understand.
Oh yeah,
Right.
100%.
We would have to look. I did a little bit of research, and I told you that the other day. Remember?
Oh yeah, and you
I was
shared it
just
with
like,
me. I
okay, there was Iran from the 19s to the 50s.
Yeah.
Okay. Remember, I went through the whole entire thing.
You absolutely did. You gave me, and I asked you. Remember, I'm like, bro, can you just give me some like insight on all of this a little bit? And you
Yeah.
kind of broke it down in a really simple way for me.
Yeah, they have oil. They gave a lot of the ownership of the oil to foreign governments, specifically the British, to basically extract all of their oil. But it was to the point where they were keeping something like 10% of the oil and giving away all of it. Mind you, they
That's
were
insane.
paying for it to be extracted.
Yeah.
But that's not fair. At a certain point, after 50, 60 years, you're going to say, hey, buddy, whoa,
Yeah.
that's a bit too much. So what happened is that they told the British, this needs to change.
Right.
They weren't happy about that. What did the British do? They end up putting a Shah in power. So then the Shah gets in power.
That's what you were.
Then everybody's
This is in the 70s,
yeah,
right?
this
you
is like
said?
where you see pictures on
Just
the
for
internet
timelines.
of like people wearing like
Yeah.
Americanized clothes, and people always going back
British
to like
kind of.
the golden eras of Iran. But wait
Yeah.
a minute, the guy killed people. He was he did horrible things. It was a monarchy.
Yeah.
So it's not like he did anything miraculously better than the other people.
Was he like a puppet in some ways?
He was definitely 100%
Definitely.
puppet. And,
Everybody has a
and-
boss,
and-
and they're all telling them what to do.
but
Yeah.
at the end of
he
the
ended
day.
up assigning deals to give back oil to other countries.
Wow.
Right? So eventually, what happens? The local population say, wait a minute. We wanted our natural resources.
Mm-hmm.
You took out our guy, put a puppet in. We
Right.
just want our natural resources.
Right.
And what's going to happen when a society goes from being a little bit more conservative to super secular?
Well,
It's too much of a
it's
transition.
Too much.
fast.
It's from one extreme
right?
to another.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then you're going to get the other extremists that get into power, right?
You're right.
So no, Iran's just been a hot mess. It's been a hot mess. And then finally they get back their natural resources, but the Western worlds are pissed off. They want to own all the oil. They want to own
So-
it anyways. And then the people that did get power back end up ruling with an iron fist. So that's why, like, even I'm trying to understand what's going on over there. It's almost
Like the
impossible.
passageway of Hormuz, which is
Yeah.
where they're
Strait
saying
of
they have to
Hormuz.
leave it open during this ceasefire that they're in right now. I think it's coming to an end, right? They were on a 2-week ceasefire.
Yeah. So it's just
And-
a passageway where all the oil, all the tankers go by to get to different countries.
Got it.
Yeah, they closed it. They shut it down, and Trump
Because-
told them he had a deadline
For them to
to
open it up.
And the
Exactly.
reason why they closed it was because that was the only leverage they had.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Now
Yeah.
they're saying every boat that goes through is going to pay a tariff, which a lot of countries charge a tariff to go through their waters.
Which makes sense.
Which there was no tariff. before.
Before.
But-
So the war actually worked in Iran's favor if the tariff stayed.
Oh, because they
right.
weren't charging a
Because
tariff.
they weren't charged.
But-
And now Iran's just like, well, you're charging for the Panama, you're charging for this canal, that canal,
But
that
hasn't the U.S.
waterway.
been charging for things like all this time anyways to make profits in any way possible?
They're charging tariffs.
Yeah.
Right? So why can't they charge?
But
so,
that's where I was going with
Look,
that. Wouldn't it make sense for other countries to have the
I
same
don't know.
privileges
I don't know.
of
going back to
Trump's
Trump,
US?
he has just been a hot mess.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He has been a hot mess, and it's It sucks because the price of oil went up, and now we're all
Gas prices are through
It's
the
like
roof.
we dealt with what was going on in the Middle East, and that was like psychological, emotional for
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah.
We had COVID before that,
We had COVID.
and now we're dealing with so much instability.
War and
You don't know where
just
the
fighting.
interest rates are going to be. You don't know what the price of gas is going to be. You're trying to build a budget. You're trying to, and then everyone tells you, well, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah, it's definitely also with the groceries and stuff like that too. We've been taking hikes in almost every aspect.
Yeah.
The cost of living has gone up, number one.
Yeah.
The taxes have gone up.
Yeah.
Now we're dealing with war, and the war is affecting us with
gas
gas
prices are
Every,
through the roof.
every single person on
How
earth
has your
is-
budget
is
changed?
suffering now.
$2 the other day. I went to the. I
$2.
couldn't believe
$2
it.
bucks.
And are you guys noticing gas is not lasting? Like I would fill up and I would be good for a week. And now I'm noticing I'm going to the pump a little bit earlier. And I noticed this in social media that people were complaining that maybe they're doing something with the gas. They're putting maybe fillers. I don't know, but
Well, I know
gas
there's
is not-
different level
like,
of gases.
don't-
are
with,
you
like
noticing you drive a hybrid, so I don't know
I
about
don't
you.
put gas a lot just because my car it's like a PHEV. It has a little bit of electric on it. But
So PHEV is you have
try
a bit of both.
different
Yeah.
try a different gas station.
Oh,
Instead
okay.
of Esso, try Shell or
So
try,
I'm doing Costco.
try
Why don't you
different-
just do Costco?
I do mostly Costco, but
Yeah.
sometimes I can't
'Cause
always get
Costco
to Costco.
lately's always been 10 to 15 cents
Yeah.
Wow.
less per liter
Yeah.
compared to
Right.
and I know when gas prices were really low, I'd go to Costco still and I was saving 3-4 cents. So sometimes it was like, okay, if I don't find the time to go to Costco and do the whole fill up and I'm desperate, like stuck somewhere where I need to just fill up. But just to let you know, with the gas prices being so high right now, they are usually 15 cents cheaper per
Yeah, so
liter
it's just better
compared
to, go
to
to
other.
Costco.
So you know what I've been doing? Just fill up your tank
right,
and then
you're good for the week.
Yeah, I do agree. I feel like the gas a full tank used to last me almost
Yes.
10 days.
Okay, I'm not alone.
And
okay.
I feel like I'm running through that a
a
little,
little bit
quicker.
faster.
But
It's
I
nice.
don't
It
I don't
sucks
know what that
everyone is suffering. with
everyone is
this.
suffering. So gas prices have gone up.
It's nuts.
And that's what brings me to the fact that like we
But at
are-
least Quebec is giving us a little grocery rebate.
there you go.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes,
But it's a
Sultana.
one time.
So no,
No, and I think
according
they're taking away a carbon. I heard that they're taking away another gas tax.
They
as
are
well.
supposed
Oh,
to.
yes, I heard about this too as
the
well.
government is supposed to be giving us a little bit of, let's say, benefits
On June
relief.
5th.
Moving forward
Hey,
with
we will
regards
take
to
it.
changes. We will change. We will take
Take
it. So not everyone qualifies for it. Obviously, we have low income, middle income,
Right.
families. It depends on your situation with regards to the household. Are you a single income parent owner? Do you have 1 or 2 kids? Do you have?
Yes.
So of course, the amount will change
Vary.
based on your family dynamic, and not everyone qualifies for it. Obviously,
Yeah.
these are benefits for people that are struggling, but the average
Single
Montrealer, just to
moms,
let
yeah.
you know, is middle class. So at this point, they will benefit from, a little bit of an increase. So it's basically the old GST credit. So you know
Oh.
how you would get the GST credit
Yeah.
4 times a year?
Yeah.
You get it in July, you get it in
Right.
October, you get it in January, you get it in April. Well, what they're going to be doing is they're going to be giving up to $628
Wow.
in addition,
When?
starting
June 5th.
as of June. They have several dates out. Some of them are going to be prioritizing.
So how
like-
many are there?
So there are 3 payments throughout the year that you're going to get.
But it's all going to be
It's
the-
Wow. So,
so-
they're giving like $2,000?
So actually, I have the numbers. I believe
Wow.
in addition to the existing
Oh, that's going to
GST
help
credit,
people out a lot.
what they're going to be
Oh,
giving,
that's really nice.
which is going to be amazing. So I have it here. Let's just see.
I just don't get why don't they just lower grocery prices and call it a day?
I don't know
because
if it
they
works
can't-
that way.
Why?
Because
Yeah.
of
because
things
of
like
the
tariffs,
rebate.
because of Trump,
And
things that we
those
get,
are private corporations.
where we get our food from,
Yeah,
things like
it's-
that.
Yeah, but
There's-
all of a sudden, I also read that Trump is giving out rebates as if like a coupon. They're reducing it now, but we'll see what happens with that.
Look, that's
Yeah.
the States.
That's
yeah,
true.
and a lot of
That's-
things
it's
change
a whole
there in that
different world.
regard. So
But that's nice. That's nice that they're doing that.
So some families could get up to $628, okay? You don't even need to apply for this.
As long as you do your
First
taxes.
of all, it's tax season, guys. You
Yeah.
have a
I did my
couple-
taxes.
Good job.
Thank God.
You wait.
I
Hold-
submitted.
hold
it's
on.
Done.
Wait a minute.
gone, And it's finished.
Sorry. We need to pause for a second. Sultana, where am I going with this? He did his taxes and we didn't hear about it? Hold on a second.
No, you're talking about the other brother. I'm
No,
okay with taxes.
no.
I don't
We
have
know
any
about it.
drama with taxes.
No, but still, it's always been difficult. Like I've always no,
it's not the end of the world.
not
It's just-
anymore.
no, it's when you do your
Hey,
taxes. It's
Someone's growing up.
No, it's because I think it's because we have a good accountant now.
Yes, yeah. Let's not talk
Even
about our
though
other
I do
account.
miss the old guy.
I do. We need to go check in on him.
Yeah,
just to see if
just
he's
to check
okay.
up. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's just that, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been thinking about him lately.
His mental
But
health and health was not doing very
the
well.
new
Yeah.
accountant.
Yeah.
It's just. I think
Easy.
it's just finding the pockets. You know, you gotta find that paper.
So me and your sister over there, Sultana, we love tax season, right?
Oh,
Hold on. Sultana, the other day I was looking back at old videos of you and me doing our taxes. We're always so happy.
It's because we have an amazing accountant.
We have an amazing accountant, but not only that, it's also because like we're hard workers, we're moms of multiple kids, we're single moms. So there's a lot more advantages for us. Whereas I understand for you, you're a business owner, you have other things to file in and stuff. You're the breadwinner, that kind of stuff. But in some cases with me and her, tax season for us is actually a good thing. It means that we will be eligible for benefits such as
like
the grocery
rebate.
rebate, which is a way for the government to help us with the hikes in prices
Absolutely.
of food and stuff. Because to be honest with you, a majority of our budget
My money's all
of
going
our
to groceries.
income goes to food.
Me too. 100%.
And a lot of people still, regardless,
Oh,
are
my money's
wasting
food.
food
Oh, yeah.
and eating out and all these things.
Yeah.
So I find that I'm very economical when it comes to food
Right.
and spending, because that's how I get ahead of the game with my budget,
Absolutely.
with my 4 children,
budget food.
being, a single income household earner.
Budget food.
we learned,
I-
sis. We learned.
You're in a different position though.
Yeah.
So
I just wish my food lasted longer.
So
I agree with you.
one
Like,
thing-
I find like there's a lot of food that spoils
That's wasteful,
fast,
yeah,
or like
yeah.
you know.
and you've always kind of had a thing back in you would make meals as you go along.
Yep.
You would go
And
pick
I
up
love it
fresh
like that.
chicken,
Yeah, I'll go
a
get
fresh salad.
Yeah.
Listen to her little thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
instead of
tell us a little
buying
bit about it.
50 apples, I should just buy like 5.
Listen
and
to her.
then buy another 5.
Because
I have a
really-
chat with my
yeah,
children.
Yeah, listen to this.
And every morning
Might
I'm
help
like,
you.
dinner ideas. So usually my kids are super easy. Taco, butter chicken.
Oh.
They like things like that. So what do? I go pick up a couple of chicken breasts, chop
Listen,
it up.
She's
I
actually
have
onto
I
something.
have the sauce. Boom, I make it. Or it's all about having a freezer. You have a freezer in your basement.
yeah. No, for sure,
you
for sure.
take out
I'm
whatever.
just talking about the vegetables and the fruits that
So,
go bad. So
yes, okay.
So I do truly believe, yes, buying a 10-pound bag of apples at Costco
yeah.
might not be the best
Because in your
idea.
brain, you're like, I'm gonna eat them all.
Yeah, but then you waste them
But then
because
you
you
don't.
No,
can't.
but I
And
buy
you can't-
Costco apples. Every single one went perfectly.
Fine, but are you buying them every couple of weeks, every week, and like?
Yeah, pretty
you-
much weekly on a
I
weekly
heard that
basis.
there's a spray. Like I was watching something on TV that these ladies, I think in Montreal, came up with this spray solution
Mm.
that you can spray. Because apparently, when you wash your fruits with water, something like 40% of something
You have
removes
to add a
from
bit
it.
of apple cider
Yeah,
vinegar and some
pesticides.
salt.
Hello.
Yeah.
And you got to let it sit there for
So
a bit.
there's like this kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? There's like this like way of doing it to preserve the fruits and vegetables longer. But apparently, there's sprays that you can buy.
You could.
I haven't heard about the sprays, but I heard you are supposed to wash your
Right away.
vegetables and fruits right away in like
But they were
a
saying
baking
if you
soda.
do it just with water, that's
Yeah.
the worst thing you can do.
100%.
Well,
You're-
100%.
Yeah, you have to do apple cider with a bit of baking soda. Let it sit 10, 15 minutes. Then really dry it. It's about really drying it. And then put it in a container.
An airtight with.
upside down.
And then do you re-rinse it before you eat
Hold
it?
on,
No,
she
not
knows
at all.
this. Listen
You
to
You
her.
put a little layer of paper towel.
Yeah, that I've heard.
You've
I
heard?
of that.
And you
for the
put
blister.
it upside down and put it right away in the fridge.
She's right.
That's
actually.
what you got to
Okay,
do.
that I've heard.
But you
That I've
gotta
heard.
clean your fruits right away. And yet, because on apples, there's like this film that they put
It's
on
like
it.
a wax
Yeah,
almost.
it's a waxy
But that
film.
protects it. That's what keeps
But
it.
that's what keeps it looking nice. And the minute you clean it, but the thing is,
But that's it. The minute you clean it,
yeah. So
then
maybe
it goes away. That's
yeah.
why there is some sort of kind of solution out there that kind of adds adds a barrier onto the fruits and vegetables.
Mm.
Anyways, I'm gonna look into it, but
Yeah, just
Yeah.
wash your fruit the minute
definitely
you get it.
yesterday I threw out like 3 tangerines.
See, that kills me.
and
Bananas,
that
things
just
like that.
bothered me.
Yeah, because we're already spending so much money on these foods. So, good idea on that note. You don't have to plan every meal of the week every day. Sometimes
Day
we
to
are lucky we
day.
go to butchers
But I think I'm
because,
gonna
we
start
eat
going to the
halal
store
food.
more
So,
often to
exactly.
buy.
Instead of thinking I don't need to go to the store, try to just go in for what you need without looking at everything else.
That
You
is
know what I
true.
mean?
Yeah, you're right.
You
You're
have
right.
to
I'm a
become more.
grabber. I'm a grabber.
You are a grabber and
Like,
don't
remember
go
those shows when
hungry.
we were kids where they'd have the cart, and then the cart
Yeah.
they would go like 3, 2, 1, and you'd have to run around the store.
Oh,
thing?
yes, I
noticed
remember that.
Remember that show?
I remember
I've been
that.
to Costco with you many times
So
and
that's
shopping.
me. Like
You-
I got my cart,
Kadeem, I think you're
and then
overspending.
I like to go down every aisle.
Yeah.
You're like a kid in a
And then I'm
candy
like,
store, aren't you?
That.
Yeah.
But
Wait, are you going to the grocery store hungry?
That's another
no,
thing.
no. I'm
Not
not going to. No,
necessarily.
no. I just
They say
like,
never to go to the grocery store hungry.
I'm gonna try to do the micro
What's
shopping.
happening behind this SOS carrier? What is
No, he's a biker that delivers packages.
that? Is so
Oh,
cool.
I've used him
nice.
before in the past.
Really? He's like
Yeah.
a courier?
Yeah, that's
Thought that
exactly
only
what he
existed in New York.
Exactly what he is. He's a courier. Yeah, for
Wow.
the city. He'll only do like a radius of, I guess,
Mm.
he won't obviously go on a bridge or to the South Shore or something like that. But
No,
yeah, it's,
absolutely.
So, what's the last thing we can talk about?
Let's just,
I think we had a good discussion about everything that's pertinent for
Yeah.
Montrealers right now.
Yeah.
Starting with the Canadiens, their big win, supporting our local team, what it brings to Montreal, the vibe
Yeah.
that's up ahead. Who doesn't love Montreal in the summer with the Canadiens winning?
That's true.
The terraces, money, bringing in a little bit more of the economy, local economy, like helping it grow a little bit with local businesses and stuff. So that's an amazing thing. Me, I know he didn't agree too much with my change of seasons, but I comment below and let me know if you agree a little bit with what I
Yeah.
had to say in regards to the fact that we're coming.
Winter
Yeah.
is for
We're coming
a
out
little
of the winter.
hibernating.
And,
No,
and
you're right.
and I was more along the lines just trying to say it's okay if you didn't do much over the last few months. That was my purpose.
No, that's
Yes.
fair.
It was just to say,
That's fair.
don't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah.
If you rested, that's okay. And now that spring, our motivation is back, vitamin D is back. Then let's take advantage
Make the
of
most
those
of
times.
it.
Make
the
the most of it, you know?
Yeah.
And then-
Winter is just too long, and
And
this
then
one was a
it's
bad
too
so
one.
much to look
It's too
forward to,
long.
like this new grocery benefit and like a lot of good things for Canadians. Obviously, we always are going to have negatives like Trump and the
Yeah,
potholes and
Trump.
things like that.
Well, I'd like to see if people have like crazy pothole stories or
My
crazy
God, comment,
pictures
send us
or
pictures.
Yeah.
send us
of
your
worst
pictures. We
pothole.
will post that.
We were not
Yeah.
meant to just work 9 to 5
Yeah.
and
That was the big
retire in
slide.
our
That was the
60s
biggest
and
lie. Work for
just
40 years
save
of your
all our
life.
And not be with our
money.
families. Like they were saying
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
other day, the average family spends time with each other after work or after
For 2
school for
hours.
2 hours.
That's it.
Literally.
That's it.
You're sleeping. Look, we don't get good sleep, but let's say you're in the bed for 8 hours. Okay. Even if you've slept 5 to 6 hours, you're at work for 8 to 10, 12 hours. People are working more and more than they've ever worked in their entire life.
And now
Just to
everyone,
pay for our life.
everybody has a second job.
Everybody has
Everybody has a
two
second job.
Exactly.
multiple resources
Yeah.
of income.
How many people do you know
Because
that I got a
we
side
can't
hustle?
afford
I got a side
strawberries.
hustle.
We can't afford to buy
$10 strawberries.
Over 70% of Canadians are working paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah,
and
and
that's so
spending
sad.
money on
That's
food and
insane.
and
stuff
we have
like
so
that.
many resources here in
That's
Canada.
So this
it
summer,
doesn't make sense.
I'm building legit. I did this last year.
Yeah.
I grew a few things there that like I could just
Ooh.
look. I cook a lot with
You
coriander.
mean like
and mint.
gardening?
Yeah,
I'm
you're
talking
gonna
about
garden.
gardening.
I
But
like it.
first, it was just herbs.
Yeah.
But these are the things I'm growing, and I've tried it, and it's worked.
Yeah.
So basil, mint, coriander, anything that because
So I'm shopping at
literally
your
spent-
house this summer?
Do it.
I know. So I spend $2 to $3 just on coriander a week. Okay, so that's just calculate that. It's like a
Did
good
you
15
start planting so I can come shopping?
No, I haven't yet because like look at
So
this.
tonight
We
was
were 3
snowing
degrees.
today.
It was
yeah.
literally snowing. I like to wait till the end of April before
Okay.
starting to plant things because I don't want it going below 10
Okay.
degrees.
Just tell me when to come over
I
with my
will tell
shopping
you.
bag.
Yeah, and then I thought,
little things that I could do. First of all, green chilies, which I did last year. They came out super
Ooh,
good.
nice.
And then I did a bit of green pepper and tomatoes.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Just
I had no idea.
easy peasy things
Yeah.
that I
have
can
land.
use.
I could
Can you
Yes,
use
have
to
a
build?
hello.
full-fledged garden.
Please build a garden
I
this
need
year.
to build a garden.
Yeah.
Well, you could
You're right.
'cause
My
you-
wife's been talking about it. I wanted to do a greenhouse, but then we looked down it, and then there was like mold issues and ventilation
Oh
and
God,
climate.
yeah.
I watched
Kareem,
YouTube videos a little
just
bit
go
too
old school.
crazy.
Just grow a
But
few
yeah,
things that you use
I
day to
just
day.
need to buy like an elevated bed.
Well,
Yeah.
they're all at Costco right now, guys. I
Right?
just saw them. They're like
Yeah.
$179
No,
on sale.
That's a lot.
Who cares? At
A
least
lot. What are you talking about?
$70.
You're gonna save so much
But-
money on the
Well,
things you
am I gonna
make.
save $179?
oh, hold
No.
on.
No,
Wait,
what I was thinking
Mm,
is
I
just
get
going
it.
to buy
I
the
get-
wood
And making yourself.
and build a massive
100%.
long one
you should.
on the side of the house
Kadeem, you could just build
and
it.
just start growing stuff.
Just build
We'll
it
come
with
help
extra
you.
stuff you have around the house.
That's
Yeah.
a great idea.
Kadeem, do a DIY where you just do it on
I
your
think
own.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. Why
Why
not?
buy that for
Yeah,
200
I gotta
bucks?
do it this weekend. Let's see if I do it.
All right,
Let's
let's see.
Aw,
Okay,
so
that
on
wraps it
note,
up. We've been on for an hour.
I don't
think
even
that's
know. We're gonna find
incredible.
out
There was a
soon.
lot going on this
Yeah.
one, and
But we're happy and we're
Yes.
excited. We're so happy to be
yeah,
back.
we're gonna be back in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Maybe
100%.
earlier.
Maybe even
Absolutely.
earlier.
We're gonna
Yeah.
stay consistent this
Like I
week.
said, I'm
We
not
want
hibernating
people
anymore.
to comment.
back.
We want
Yeah.
people to share their stories with us.
Yeah.
Anything that they can relate. We want to know where you're watching from. So just
Yes.
Yeah.
write what city that you're watching from, what country you're watching from, any
Topic
similar
ideas that you have for
stories,
us.
anything that you want to educate with us, teach us,
Or
something that
comment
you
on
guys
things we talked
would
about
like us
today.
to talk about in
Yeah.
the future or something else.
Yeah. We'd
you
love
know,
to hear
we're
everything.
open. So like, subscribe, and comment.
share or comment.
And
Wait again.
share.
Let's say it again.
Like, subscribe, and share.
Comment. And share.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we'll see you very soon.
Yeah.
And this is goodbye from
Unfiltered energy.
Okay. we did
Not
good.
bad. Trust me, it's taping.